I was in Chicago a few weeks and was talking all this sexual tantra and different things, and the brother said, oh, it's so personal. And I said, now, wait a minute, hold on now. Right now, if they had a course down at the University of Chicago talking about the reproductive sexual anatomy and the whole sexual function of the human body, and you stepped up in there and that white professor was explaining that stuff and all the sexual aspect, you wouldn't dare question him on whether it's being personal. You see what I'm saying? Because he has made himself the criteria of the authority. But all of a sudden, we're such childlike people. When we come, we have such a low opinion of ourselves and a low image of ourselves. So when black people come and explain the same thing, you get offended by it. Now, I did a lecture down in Atlanta in 2001 at the HEMMITT Summit, and I was breaking down this same sexual energy stuff, and black people lost their mind. That nigga done gone crazy. The same year, white folks had the same type of sexual conference in Australia, and white folks flew from all over the world. They had one about a year later in Las Vegas. They was expecting about 30,000 people, and 200,000 people showed up. But yet we try to explain this to our people because we're on such a childlike level of catechism Sunday school. And that's why you're not learning nothing. You want to know why you're not learning nothing, because you fail to push the envelope and see what's behind the veil. You see what I'm saying? And white folks is taking this stuff and running with it, and they don't have the energy. You see what I'm saying? They don't have the energy. So they show these temples, they print these temples up of these black people embracing. And they said that the embrace, the embrace that they're doing is from another planet. They mean that there's something when you take a person, especially when you take a woman, and you both get together and you can hold each other tight enough so you can generate enough energy, you can open up cells and chakras and rejuvenate yourself just by a certain hug and a certain embrace. You see what I'm saying? Most men bust a nut and then they don't want to be touched. You see what I'm saying? That's the opposite, because we're trained to go after that as a child, and we're doing it the wrong way. So we're talking about a certain embrace. We're going ahead of ourselves because we got a lot to cover tonight. But we want to, so what happened was the Spirit said you need to give the people some pictures and things that you don't see. So also, I'll put this one up later. This is one of the inside of the Temple of Dendera. Also, we don't see this to show the massive construction of our people that goes along here. I'll put that up. You can assist me by putting that up there, right up under there. And we have just a limited few of these, so first come, first serve. You know, I've never done infomercials, but hey, it's hard times. I did 13 years of poor righteous teacher and almost landed in the street. And all. Is this particular African beauty called the African Venus. Now, I went to the Baltimore Museum in the Walters Art Gallery in Baltimore, Maryland, and there was a little brochure. I was going to see this, the Egyptian exhibit. And this woman called out to me and said, come pick up this brochure. And I went over and picked up the brochure, and there was a little picture of her. And she said, get me out of here. So I had to go to the store and find a print of this. And as a result, I also found this. Now, I open up with these. This is the African Venus. The brother name is Charles Henry Joseph. He traveled to Africa to capture this man, a Sudanese king, might be an origin of a Moor. You see, might be the origin of a Moorish sect in the Sudan. This might be one of the origins. And he, as far as the location, He traveled to capture this brother, saw this beauty, and was so smitten by her, he went back 4 years later to do her and named her African Venus, which is the goddess of beauty and the goddess of love. And this would be the prototype in which, when you heard the scholars like John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben and even Farrakhan used to say, you know, you were the standard of beauty all over the planet. Well, this is the type of person that they're talking about. So when I got her out, first of all, there was a debate in 1990 whether dreads or locks, excuse me. No, y'all tough fence. But they said there's a story behind the word dreadlock. They say the Maroon Societies was kicking ass, and they had these locks, and the white boys dreaded seeing those locks. So there's a story behind that. So anyway, there was this origin of dreads, and there was a debate going on in Atlanta and the Morehouse College and different things in the 1990s whether it originated in the Caribbean or Africa. And they made reference to that the Egyptian boys warm up to age 12, then after age 12 they cut them. But this brother has them also, but you don't see his because he has on whatever this is some form, although it's open in the back, it's still some form of a fez. But here clearly, you see what I'm saying? It just knocks that out of the water. Because this is the 1800s and all, and we see this woman with dreadlocks, dreads, or locks. So we got about 10 of these, so, hey, first come, first serve, but just step to me if you want one when we sell out, and I'll definitely take down my name, and I'll send you. I've been sending them in the mail since I got it across the country. So you can also get access to these. These color ones are 10. These are 5 each. You can buy the whole set, but they're very important, especially these. You want to get some money, you want to get some prosperity, you want to do something. This temple here, and I got one that's so much in better shape, is going to be very key when I go into what I'm talking about, and it's going to coincide with what Brother Atiba was saying about a doorway. That's one of the keys.